So welcome. We are starting this video straight away and we're going to do the body of our Togepi. And in the beginning, I did the 6 single crochets in a magic ring, and then I increased in every single crochet, and then I increased and then did a single crochet 6 times, and then after that I did the 2 single crochets and then increased, and then I actually did the row 5 there, another just 24 single crochets all the way around, just to get like a little bit of an egg shape and not just that flat rounded or like just slightly increased. I don't know if it did that much, but it just felt like it gave a little bit of a rounding nest on the bottom, or well, I guess on the bottom of this egg-shaped little cute Pokemon, right? So we're just speeding through. You can always, pause the videos and screenshot if you want to have the measurements or the actual rows there that I did. I will say, which I will maybe come back to, and that is that I feel like I went a little bit far with the white color. Maybe I should have changed to the yellow one a bit earlier, because I do feel like I didn't have much room to make the actual face of Togepi, and you will see that later. I think it turned out good anyway. So I'm just going to walk you through here what I did anyway. But yeah, just kept building on the basically egg part of this Togepi. I'm assuming it's an egg, right? And here is actually a really good time now to embroidery or like surface crochet those triangle things. And here I'm writing no, because I feel like I said, I feel like I could have gone back if 2 rows maybe with the white or something. I didn't feel like I should have stopped there. I should have gone back and then cut the white and saved that white thread instead. But as you can see, I chose to go with the yellow here. And maybe also I could have done the like maybe 2 extra rows of with the yellow, just to create that more 2 3 maybe with the room for the face. But I think it would have been better. So if you're trying this pattern out that I have written down now, because I did write this one down, I didn't actually look if there was any out there. I just winged it. So if you choose to do this, I would actually suggest to just do maybe 3 row less of the white and just have the yellow be there instead. That would be my best tips for now. So, but yeah, you can see I'm starting with the yellow here, and I will stop once I've reached maybe 2 rows, I think, and start to do the surface crochet with those triangles that Togepi, the Pokemon, have on his or her shell, the white shell there, which was actually pretty fun to do. I'm sorry if this bothers you, but it's just that it gets better, I think, audio once I hold the microphone closer to my mouth. And I think this blue was the perfect color. Unfortunately, I just had it in very like light, fine yarn, cotton yarn. So I doubled it. So I guess I didn't say that in the beginning, but I'm using a 3mm crochet hook, and I'm also, the white and the yellow is with a 8/8 cotton yarn, and the other one is just 4 strand yarn. So that's why I'm doubling the blue, just to get the same thickness, but also to, yeah, those triangles are pretty thick. I might have like, I could have probably, done them double the rows, like one and then one oh sorry, and another way around as well. But I ended up with just making them very simple. I think the effect, and you can definitely see who is supposed to be here. So yeah, it's fine. But I guess that would be another thing. And sorry, that would be another thing I would do probably, is to do these triangles a little bit thicker, and also to do this embroidering or surface crocheting earlier, because I think that the more of the body that you have, the longer the walls are, the harder it will be to like try to wiggle around and make it happen. But as you can see, it you get the hang of it. And obviously we're going to have some red in there as well. So I think this was actually one of the fun parts, because this is where I felt like you could really see who I was trying to make or create. Yeah. And as a, I don't, the reason why I didn't start stuffing the body obviously was because I wanted to do the surface crocheting first. But if you've already done that earlier, you could obviously start stuffing your Togepi at that point as well, or at any point really. I used a tapestry needle to just do that last stitch of the triangles as well, just to make sure that it looked pretty or semi neat. And I think it turned out very cute. The good thing with using two strands like this is that it was like a natural way of just like I could just make a knot to basically fasten it. So by like just um, separating the strands and do that. But yeah, as you can see, I have now some red and blue triangles on the body, and I think that really you can really like. I was really happy, and it was fun to make those. I'm not gonna lie. Once you got the hang of it. But then I just kept going with the yellow and to just build up more of that body. And again, I wish I had more face because I don't think I thought too much. Well, there's, I guess, a little bit here. If you do this exact thing that I have done here and you continue with the yellow up and you have done exactly as much as of the white as well, you have to have maybe smaller points, which I'm going to get to as well. This was a little gift for my daughter, so I didn't, over complicated for myself. I just winged it really. But as you can see, it looks like an egg and everything, so it looks pretty cool. I did do only when I attached that yellow thread, I only went on the back loops on the white row around because I wanted one of the loops from the whites here to be saved for me to make those spikes of the egg because it's a cracked egg in a way, right? So I didn't know exactly what to do there. So I played around a little bit. And you can do whatever. You can do some kind of like triangle, basically just very even shape all the way around. Or as I did, I ended up with trying a few things. And here you can see what I did. I did basically, played around with double crochets, single crochets, and treble crochets, I think. And then on the top there, I just attached it to the yellow part so it wouldn't flap open too much, just because I know that when my kid is playing with this plushie, it would maybe just tear it, which I thought was unnecessary. But because I had did those white spikes, they covered obviously more of that yellow part. And that also obviously was something I didn't think about when also thinking that I was having to make a face on this little creature too. So that's why I keep repeating that little mistakes. But here's the spikes that I made, which I thought turned out really cool. However, they might be a bit on the bigger size, but I was also playing around with this small, like making them a bit smaller, but I thought it was the bigger ones that looked a little bit more cute. I think if I would have made it small, I don't know, I didn't like the style of that, so I just went with the big ones. And I made it work, forced it to work, I should say, and you will see that soon too. But otherwise, I think these spikes was very easy to make, went really quick, and you only need to make five. Haven't thought about it, but if you look at the top of Togepi's head, it's like a star if you thought about it. So that I thought was really cool. Yeah, the beginnings are always a little bit tricky when making, the single crochets in that magic ring, but after you've done it a million times, it gets easier, I think. It's so cool to see everything when it goes so quick. I remember making it, didn't go that quick when I made it. I don't think this whole plushie took me that long, because I was filming it, it was that obviously takes a bit more time. Here we're making the arms. It's again very simple, and you can always choose to decrease a little bit more in the end, just if you want to like a bit more natural arms on the attached to the plushie. I feel like I could have done that more. Like the arms, I thought was looking good once I attached it, which you will see. But the feet or the legs, I think that I could have decreased a bit more on the ending there because I feel like I they look a little bit cut off. So if I would ever make another Togepi, which I don't think I will, but never say never. I probably would do that little tweak as well, decrease a bit more, and then obviously, like I said, have more space to make a face. Because Togepi, I feel, is the cutest when I've seen it being more of a rounded egg, so it shouldn't be too much rows in between anyway. But yeah, I decreased a little bit here on the legs, but I could have, like I said, done more because it looked a little bit cut off once I attached it to the actual plushie in the end. But yeah, of course, 2 arms, 2 legs, and then 5 spikes, if I didn't mention that before, which I think I did now thinking about it. And then I just kept going and just tried to figure out how to assemble this, or like how to sew this back, or to sew it on the head. And as you can see, not much room for a face, but I wasn't going to do any big changes here. I was going to work with what I had. So here you can see me basically looking or playing around a little bit how I would sew those parts on. And at this point, we also had already sewn those spikes on. I don't know if you call it spikes, but that's what I call it. So that is how it looks. And as you can see, I winged it for the face, but my daughter loves this little Togepi. So let me know what you think. And if you want to try this pattern out, yeah, it was very fun to make it. And I do have another Pokemon coming up soon that I have to make for my other daughter, but more about that later. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and leave a comment.